Let's look at Unix versus Linux and see what are the differences. But before we get into finding the differences, we'll find out what Unix is. Unix was first developed for multi-user and multitask purposes in mid-1970s in Bell Labs by AT&T, GE, and Massachusetts Institute of Technology. There was an operating system, but it was not allowing for multi-users or multitasking. So that was one of the purpose for creating that. Then born Linux in 1991 by a student named Linus Torvalds. Linux is mostly free and Linux is open source. So what Linux free means is you could install the Linux operating system in any of your computer hardware. There are a few Linux distributions that are not free, like Red Hat, where you would have to pay for support and subscription. And the open source means that the Linux code that was derived from Unix is actually open to the public, to the community. So they could go in and make changes to that code and make the operating system the way they want it to work in their own way. Unix is mostly used by Sun, and the operating system is called Solaris. By the way, Sun is now bought out by Oracle, and also other operating systems that are Unix is used is HPUX by HP, AIX, and some other distributions of Unix. Linux is used mostly by developer communities or companies like Red Hat, CentOS, Debian, Fedora, SUSE, Ubuntu, and there are so many of them. Even if you go out and search for Linux distributions, you will find so many of them. Unix is comparatively supports very fewer file system. Now, what is a file system? That is something that we will cover later. But there are fewer file systems that's supported by Unix operating system and a lot more file systems that are supported in Linux flavors. Linux can be installed on a variety of computer hardware, ranging from mobile phones, tablet, video games, consoles to mainframe and supercomputers. It's just like you cannot install Mac operating system on a Dell machine. You have to install Mac operating system on a Mac hardware. Just like that, Unix is only installed on certain hardware, whereas Linux, you could install pretty much on every hardware that is out there running AMD or Intel processor. So these are the few basics about Unix and Linux, and I hope you will find more information if you're curious about it online.